Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees. And to no one's surprise, the Red Sox did win the AL East. They actually celebrated at Yankee Stadium. And it's really no big deal. They didn't go, they had popped champagne in the clubhouse. It's fine. It wasn't like they would dance over the field. So who really cares? And you know it was going to happen. They had the big lead. Now, there was a little time when the Yankees kind of whittled it down to 6. But again, the Yankees just shoot themselves in the foot. There was a lot of easy games against like the Blue Jays and Minnesota Twins. Teams they should have wrecked. Tigers, they should have wrecked, but they didn't. And they kind of just let the thing go away. So the Yankees are officially going to be a wild card team. Still working it out, whether it's going to be against Oakland, whether it's going to be against Houston, the Mariners. But it looks like it's, again, still going to be Oakland. And most likely the game's going to take place at Yankee Stadium. And, of course, you want the game here. The Yankees have the second most home wins in all of baseball. Of course, second to the Boston Red Sox, which, as we all covered, win every game. Over 100 wins already. It's ridiculous. But if you're the Yankees, you like your chances at this place. And the Yankees are getting a lot of pieces back at just the right time. Aaron Judge is back in the lineup. I thought there was no way he was coming back for 2018, and they were just toying us around. But look, he's healthy, he's out there, and I don't think they would put him out there and risk his future. He is the future of the New York Yankees. He's this generation's Derek Jeter, so he's back there. And right out of the gate, he's hitting the ball hard. So I think he is legitimately healed. And if this team was going to have any chance of making a deep postseason run or even go to the World Series and win it, you needed Aaron Judge in there. It's just he lengthens out the whole lineup. You could put him in his normal number 2 slot, move guys like Andujar and Torres back to the bottom of the lineup, put Giancarlo Stanton 4th. It just does tremendous things to the lineup. And you can see they needed him. They were struggling, they were gassed out, they weren't scoring many runs, and just by putting him in there, it takes the pressure off of everyone else. And home runs have been the theme of the 2018 Yankees. Of course, yes, they've always been the Bronx Bombers, but they set a major league record being the first team to have 12 players on the rosters with double-digit home runs, and they surpassed their high water mark of 245 home runs back in 2012. They've already gotten past that. They'll probably hit about 20 more, so they've been whacking the ball all out of the park. And equally important, maybe not really, but it depends where you look at it, Aroldis Chapman is back for the Yankees. It wasn't a surprise. They planned shutting him down because the tendonitis in his knee was just becoming too unbearable. I don't know if 10, 15 days really cured anything. Maybe just taking the pressure off for a few weeks will help him out in early October. But you need Chapman back, as an experienced closer in the postseason. Now, the second half, he's been making you hold your breath. The first half, Chapman was phenomenal. So if that guy comes back, that'd be awesome. But you need Chapman in the 9th because you can't have Betances in the 9th inning closing games. He's just 8th inning, phenomenal, strike everyone out. 9th inning, he gives up home runs. I don't know what it is, but you need Chapman back in the closing role, and that's where he is. And it's hopefully he gets his mechanics back. The Red Sox slapped him around his first game, not a big deal. He hasn't pitched in a while, but he needs a few games, get the strike zone down, and he's got to be locking down games in the 9th inning if the Yanks have any chance of getting far in the postseason. And it's great to see Didi Gregorius back to his old self again, fully recovered from that heel injury, whatever that was, and he's hitting again. Remember, he had that little slump in the middle of the season. He's hitting home runs. He's playing great defense. So the magic question is, well, one game, who starts it? Now, early on in the season, you would have said, well, yeah, Severino, sure. But second half, he's been not the same guy now. He did come back and pitch a strong game against the Red Sox, and that's a good sign. And if he has another start like that, maybe put him back into consideration. But really, you're looking at the two guys that have been picking up the slack in the starting rotation, and that's Tanaka and the new guy, J.A. Happ, whichever one. Probably just based on experience and the whole deal and all the money, you're probably looking at Tanaka starting that game. But if they go with J. Happ, I can't really complain. He'll give you 6 innings, and then you just turn it over to the bullpen and hope for the best. And Sonny Grace is totally gone. You only hear about him. They buried him somewhere in the back of the bullpen. They might even kick him off the team. You just don't hear from him at all. And you know what? Off season, they're probably just going to ship him out for like a bag of balls, as they say. Now, when you're on the subway, you don't actually want to touch the pole. It's like dirty, so you lean your wrist like that, so you don't actually have to touch the pole. Now back to the Yankees. Now, one thing that would concern you about this Yankee team, in the postseason run, is that you need championship-type defense, and this team doesn't have it. Torres, he's solid at second base, but he's prone to making mistakes, not being in the right position, messing up a double play ball, and even Andujar. Now, he's worked very hard his defense at third base, but he's still got to scratch ahead there, so it's going to be troublesome for the Yankee. It's going to be a big moment, a big double play that's not going to turn, but you just got to hope, either they just get themselves together or hit enough home runs to justify being in there. And speaking of defense, you kind of got to wonder what the Yankees are going to do with Gary Sanchez. Now, again, probably one of the best hitting catchers in the league, but defensively, he's had a rough year, and that's just being kind. So if you have this wild card game, do you put a guy like that who could probably hit a home run anytime, but also is a defensive liability? So Aaron Boone and Cashman are going to have some decisions to make. Do you go for the short defense, or do you go for a guy who could probably hit a home run? At this point, I think I'd really rather start Sanchez in that game. Let's say, we get a couple runners on, a guy like that can hit a 3-run home run, and those are big moments. Those are big things that could change a game. But if he shows me a few games where he's dropping balls and balls are going by him, then you know what? Just put Romine in there and just hope for the good defense and good pitching and good bullpen to win that game. Justice Sheffield, I always thought it related to Gary Sheffield, like, he was his nephew or something, but it turns out they have totally no relation, so I'll put a stop to that rumor. Gary Sheffield, Justice Sheffield, not related. And what about Luke Voigt? I mean, I don't know where Cashman find this guy. I don't know where he had the stats. He was a bench player on the Cardinals. Who would ever be looking at him? But he already has double-digit home runs for the Yankees. He's one of the guys that helped contribute for that record, and he basically snatched his first baseman job away from Bird. Now, again, I think Bird will have a place in the future, but right now you got to go with the hot hand. So at first base, probably for the rest of the way or postseason, you're looking at a platoon situation of probably Luke Voigt and Neil Walker. But Luke Voigt, I mean, there was a video of him the other day bench pressing 135 pounds with one hand. There's no way Bird could do that. And another guy who's lost his job was Brett Gardner. To Andrew McCutchen, you can't blame him. McCutchen's like a former MVP type guy, but the past few seasons, the second half, Gardner usually breaks down, the slow down, doesn't hit as much. And now you got McCutchen in there. He's great at the top of the lineup. He draws a lot of walks. He's definitely a home run threat, and his defense is just as good. Now you might see a little more Gardner as this maybe a late inning defensive replacement, but his playing time has been cut down short. And now that it's kind of his last year as a Yankee, he's just pretty much being pushed out the door. Tourists. So fall's here, the geese are here from north. That means the weather's changing. And fall baseball, that's what we like here in New York, especially if you're a Yankee fan. Mets, now, they don't belong in the playoffs. But now the Yankees' magic numbers too, so they're going to be in the postseason, which way now form. But again, most likely, look at home game at Yankee Stadium. Probably Tanaka starting, and most likely I'd almost rather have Gary Sanchez behind the plate, make sure he doesn't let the balls go past him. And you just got to use these next few weeks of the remaining regular season to just let Judge get his swing down. Be nice if he cracks a few home runs, just get himself prepped up. Let Chapman find the strike zone. He lost it for a few months. And then once you get past that one game, that's where you can get to some serious October baseball where there'll be a lot more geese.